I've been writing computer games for 7 years now, and right now I'm working on two games in particular, Brazilian Checkers and also Othello on a 10x10 board. Hopefully, if the computer is not too slow, I can demonstrate some of them. But I've been writing computer games for 7 years now, and the first 6 years when I first started, I actually didn't take a single day off from writing computer games, except for a time that I was in the hospital for 3 days. And all of that changed a year ago. I had been visiting a friend in Gdansk, Poland, and she insisted that I take just one day off of the computer games, because that was all every time we met, I was always busy writing computer games. She knew that she could only spend a little bit of time with me in between my gaming sessions, and it drove her nuts, and I really respected her, and so I took the day off, but I felt miserable at the time. Since then, I've been a little bit more open to taking time off of computer games. Never more than a day in a row, though. So I'm recording this on Friday, October 5th, and I'm hoping to take 2 days off this time over the weekend to explore a little bit of... I like to go on long-distance walks, and I'm hoping to head east out to North Bend and explore a little bit and just put the computer away. And I'd like to mention a few other times where I've gotten really upset when somebody has tried to stop me from these long game writing sessions. Early on when I was writing my computer games, part of the reason I started was because my grandpa had just passed away, and I was trying to cope with the loss. And I almost missed his funeral because I had gotten so involved writing a Othello game. It was only 8x8 at the time. And we were getting ready to go to his funeral, and my brother was trying to get me to go, and I told him, you can just go without me. And I was sincere about that. I really liked my computer games. And my brother said, you gotta be kidding me. It's Grandpa's funeral, of all things. And I was like, oh yeah, fuck Grandpa. I gotta write my computer games. I got this big idea. I'm gonna make $1 million off this game. I don't care about Grandpa's funeral. And my brother was so upset at that remark that he said, fuck you. And it was the only time I ever heard him say fuck in his whole life. He was 12 years old at the time. I was 25 years old. Just really busy writing my computer games. I really thought it was the next big thing. I thought it was going to become the next Facebook at the time. And I was just really into it. And my brother was trying to get me to go to this funeral that I didn't think was that important anymore, because I really felt I had found my calling. I mean, it was early on when I started writing computer games. I had no idea where it was going to take me, and it really could have been my calling, and so I took it very seriously. I went to my first computer game contest 2 years later in Yokohama, Japan, and I was so consumed with getting last-minute changes with the computer games that I missed I couldn't find the university was being held at. I kept getting off at the wrong train station, and by the time I got there, I was 20 minutes late, and it was really embarrassing. I was still typing away at my computer. I was walking up and down the hallways and typing away at my computer and tripping into people. And it was just really embarrassing. But it made me realize how addicted I was to the computer games. When I was booking my trips to these game conferences, I used to get really nervous if I got put on a 747, because I know 777s have outlets on the seats, and I would get really nervous about having to board a 747. And I would always make sure to look for 777s, even for road trips, I would get really nervous about keeping my computer on. I can charge my computer in my car, but not when it's parked. And I get really nervous about going into a rest stop and not having the power last until I can fall asleep at least. And where else does this come up? I know that where I can write my next game can always be a little bit of almost like an emergency. I used to have a coworker who had type 1 diabetes, and he needed to take insulin all the time. And I juggled how I was going to write my computer games almost like how he juggled when he was going to take insulin and where he was going to keep it. It was almost that stressful at times for me. So anyways, hopefully if I don't report back to you that I've fallen off the wagon, this will be my first weekend off of computer games, and I hope to record a new video on Monday to talk about how it went. Thanks for watching.